So how did this come about, EB?
So,
I wasn't trying to stump you.
no,
Sorry.
it's just, it's just like a longer journey than a quick tidbit. But, really work in Chicago, working pre-draft, going to Utah, Vegas with the Summer League team, being in those high-level meetings with Josh Harris, Dave Blitzer, and Brian Colangelo really piqued my interest. Like, I like this. I could really work basketball instead of, playing it. So that's how it started.
What was the conversation like for this specific position for you?
So, when Brandon Williams left, which, we became friends on the road when I was doing, some scouting and interviewing players in Chicago, he was leaving, and they said, hey, do you have any interest? So I talked to my group of friends and mentors and family, my wife, my kids, and I'm like, is this something that I'd be interested in? And it was.
What was appealing to you about taking on a front office role?
The appeal was to get the repetitions in, transactions, in management, in day-to-day operations, trades, just calling the shots, getting an opportunity to call the shots. And, people were like, oh, well, your name can get you the opportunity to call shots. I don't want a job because of my name. I want a job because of what I could bring to the table and potential. So, that's why I really want to do it.
How much do you think your familiarity with the organization and their familiarity with you will help you as you get settled in this new role?
Oh, it's already paid dividends. Brian Colangelo, Mark Eversley, these guys are taking all my calls right now. They're working. They're working, and I appreciate it because I'm new and I'm I'll be ready in a week or two to speak to the agents, to speak to the other GMs, but. They really stepped up, and that's because of our relationship and how familiar I am with them and the organization.
What have you been doing behind the scenes to brush up on everything that you'll need to know?
So I've been watching a lot of film. I've been talking to Brandon Williams. He's been a great asset. Spending time with Brian Colangelo. He's been great mentor for me with this. My agent, David Falk, he's been in the game probably 40 years. So. Just picking, Jerry Colangelo, Coach K, picking anybody's brain that I can, just how to, execute on this level.
Obviously, this would seem to be a step for you. Is the ultimate goal for you to be a GM of an NBA team?
So I'm taking it kind of step by step. This opportunity came about, so I wanted to take it, and I feel like these skills could translate into, business, charity, whatever I want to. It will translate, but if an opportunity like that comes eventually, I'll have the skills to say, hey, I've ran an organization, I can do this, I've done it.
You had a couple of times where you're close to stepping away, but not stepping away.
Yeah.
Has that basketball itch been scratched fully?
Oh, man.
How do you describe that right now?
Yeah, I'm bad at retirement. I'm bad at it. But it's been scratched. A lot of guys are like, do you think you could play a little bit with an NBA team, or what about the Big Three or something like that? It's like, I think I'm going to enjoy this side a little bit now.
What are your goals for the Sevens?
It's tough roster-wise. With the Sevens, there was one or two players that began the season with the team that ended with the team. So my goal is to make it a great product. We're going to have at least 4 or 5 NBA players on the roster at all times. We have Washington, D.C.'s 2 two-way guys, and we might have their affiliates with our 2 two-way guys and our affiliates. So it's going to be high-level talent out there, and just make the game experience, a great time for all the people that want to come to the games, all our fans.
Given the role that the two-way contracts are going to play this season, how will your NBA experience help you when evaluating those type of players?
Just knowing organizationally who can help. If this guy is, okay, we can win some games with the Sevens, or can this guy go up to the Sixers and play some minutes, practice hard, and give us something there. So I'm going to have to balance that, but I'm looking forward to that.
As a player, what did you like from a front office executive, and how might that mold the way that you go about dealing with players?
I really like executives that were up front. Let you know what it was. There was no second guessing, am I this, am I that? So communication. And on this level, you need communication. Because am I going to get called up? Is another team interested in me? Am I going to play? Which, that'd be Coach Eugene Burroughs' job. But, those questions need to be answered, and I feel I can answer those directly and justly.
You spend time with some of the guys that are on the current Sixers right now. I know are familiar with the buzz in the city right now surrounding the Sixers. Do you feel like that the hype is justified? Do you feel like they can break through this season?
Yeah, I definitely feel the hype is justified. I spend a lot of time with these guys, and that's one of the things I will miss about spending more time with the Sixers and being with the Sevens, just the relationships that I have with Joel, Ben Simmons. I just met Markel. We started spending some time together. Covington, just all the guys. I'm going to miss that part of it, but, it's going to be a process that we will trust. Can I say that? But it's going to get there. We're going to get there for sure.
But being so young, and they do have I think, the league's most difficult schedule in October, November, is there sort of a need to be just a little realistic, if you will? If they don't start out 6-2 or something?
Absolutely, absolutely. The youth, if you have 2 young players that will have ball handling responsibilities, which, doesn't bode well in the NBA period, ever, so definitely have to, temper your, expectations, but eventually I'm sure it'll click.
I remember last year coming into training camp, you were describing what the practices were like, and how you said it was war out there.
Yeah.
Do you feel like a year later that these guys are ready to take another step forward?
Absolutely. It was a battle every practice, every training camp, rep. And I see the same thing again this year, because now you have, another #1 pick coming in. You have, guys that are fighting for positions. You have a lot of talent. So we want to see, and they want to see, how is it going to shake out? This practice facility has been buzzing with guys getting under a lot of work.
Are you just as intrigued as the average fan, would you say?
So intrigued. I'm so intrigued. So that's another great part about it. I get a good seat for training camp.
Elton, it was only a year ago that we talked to you on that court with your family, and you were retiring. How long ago does that feel like now?
Yeah, it feels much longer than a year ago. Being away from the game, and when I see these young guys move and jump and run, I'm just like, man, I did that. Only 13, 14 months ago, so it does feel a long, long time ago.
Do you feel, it seems like there is this business side to this, whether it's dealing with agents trying to get players in the right spot. Does that require a mindset that's different for you that you're comfortable with, maybe, negotiating in those ways?
Absolutely. It's a totally different mindset and a totally different type of energy. I'm discussing players and trades and just the business side of it. And I was exhausted yesterday. Basketball was one thing, but it was a different kind of tired. But I'm looking forward to growing in that aspect.
On the business side of things, how beneficial is it having the proximity of the G League affiliate as close to the 76ers? Some teams, their affiliate is a lot farther away.
It should be great for the business side, because we expect many of our younger players to be down with the Sevens. We're going to run the same plays offensively and defensively, so it's a smooth transition. So they could come down and, run our A to B, B to C sets, and they'll know. They'll know the defense, and the offense. So it's going to bode well for us.
Are there any other former players who have transitioned into a front office role or an agent role that you've talked to for advice?
So I spoke to Sharif Abdurrahim when I was in South Africa with Basketball Beyond Borders. With Joel and those guys. And then I spoke to Malik Rose. And they had nothing but positive things to say about the opportunity.
How was that experience in Africa with Joel?
It was amazing. It was amazing. He's really working his butt off. That's basically all I can say about that. But I worked him out there with Coach Lloyd, and it was him, Dirk Nowitzki, and C.J. McCullough, and he was going, shot for shot, getting winning spots against these guys. It was amazing to see. So, I'm excited to see him, keep working hard.
When was your official first day on the league?
So I kind of started already, unofficially. I've been looking at, players for the two-ways and for the affiliates. So it's been about maybe a week unofficially. Thank you, guys. And it's good to see everybody again.